Everybody, we're about to go live on 9.1. So go ahead and share the video, post where you're tuning in from, and sit back, relax, and enjoy the calling number 601-948-5950. That's 601-949-5950. We got a good show today. Jason seemed a little lively, so we're going to see how it goes. So, yeah, go ahead and post where you're tuning in from. I'm feeling a little bit better. I've been under the weather the last couple of weeks, but we were round the mountain and we make it work. So pray for me, I pray for you. And we'll have a good show today. We'll talk about flowers.
Oh yeah, a good subject.
That's right. That's right. Flowers. Yeah. What's the day? 20? 2021.
23.
I know, right? Good evening, Mississippi. This is DeKeither Stamps. Welcome to Reviving Mississippi. I'm your host. We got our co-host, Mr. Jason Clark. What's going on, JC?
Man, I'm glad to be back in Mississippi, man. How you doing?
You on the road, man.
Man, be on the road a little bit out east. I don't know, y'all east, out west. Boy, see, just got back in town, man. Just got back in town.
Well, we're glad I gave you traveling race.
I
saw you pulling here on 2 wheels.
Hey, man, I had to make sure I get here on time.
I saw you. Jim and Jason pulled in here on 2 wheels, screaming at that Honda. I mean, that Honda didn't have nothing left to give. But he got here right on time.
Yeah, right on time. 30 minutes before. You already know how to get that on.
Well, you know, if you're on time, you're late.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we begin every show, we always remind you to, pay attention to the folks who are going through bereavement. Bereavement is a very trying situation all the time, but you got to be a friend so you can have a friend during your time of need. Because one thing we know, you're going to need a friend. Mm-hmm. You're going to need a friend. Because when it touches you, sometimes it touches soft, sometimes it touches your heart, but bereavement never goes away. The loss of a mother, a brother, a father, a grandparent, sister, brother, cousin, all that. It don't just go away when you get done eating chicken and go on to the replay, going home. It's the weeks, and months, and years later when you always gonna need a friend. So make sure you be a friend so you can have a friend during your time of need. Our underwriter for today's show, Mr. Michael Jordan Transportation Service. You can go to www.mjstransportation1.com for your transportation needs. Again, you can go to www.mjstransportation1 for your transportation needs. He offers quality transportation services all over Mississippi. He's been doing so for a number of years. Y'all know him well. He's right there from the Georgetown community, and he uses his resources to rebuild the community. He's out there rehabbing homes and cleaning up vacant lots and turning them into quality spaces to. And he's talking about putting flowers out there.
Okay.
But he's always doing great stuff in the community. Also, if you want some good food versus fast food,
come on now.
Go on over to SuperBurgers and get you a whole cow between 2 pieces of bread. Or they can get what, Jason?
Sweet potato fries and that good old garden burger there, sir.
They got that garden burger. This is a veggie, man. Me personally, when I go, I got the, even though I can't eat the whole thing.
Yes, yeah.
I can only eat half of it now and half of it later.
The fries, though, man. Let me be quiet. I can talk about the fries all day, man.
Hey, those 2 bitter fries are good. I put a lemon pepper fries.
I know.
So when you go by there, tell them I sent you. First off, tell them I sent you. You're not gonna get a discount.
No,
because they in business. I don't get a discount.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we stay in business.
Mm-hmm.
We offer quality services, no matter what part of our family that you participate in. We offer quality service. We don't want no discount, but it's gonna be so good you might bite your finger. So make sure you got your insurance card when you go by the hospital and get taken care of. Biting your finger with that SuperBurger sauce all over you. All right, so I see Mr. Timothy Brown, Sister Tracy. Y'all, thank y'all for tuning in today. We got to play the live show. You got some opening remarks, Jason?
No, not the moment. So go right ahead at you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a good friend of the show. She's been here before.
Yes.
And she is the fresh cut flower lady. When I say she blesses us every year with flowers, but more importantly, she blesses the community with training on flower growing, urban farming, urban forestry. We have none other than Ms. Donna Yowell. She is a good friend of the show. Welcome back to the show.
Well, thank you.
And excuse me, Mississippi Urban Forest Council. Make sure I say it right.
That's
Make
it.
sure
That's
Mississippi
it.
Urban Forest Council is the overarching umbrella that she's representing today. So tell us a little bit about what you got going on. Well, first, tell us what you've been up to.
Oh, I have been working nonstop. COVID did not slow us down.
I know.
We put 16 new arboretums all over the state of
Okay.
Mississippi during those 3 years of
Now,
COVID.
let me back up a little bit. Tell the folks a little bit about yourself that I didn't share, and then we'll dive into all the things you do.
Okay. Oh, wow. I'm a flower farmer now.
Yep.
As you with the farming background, you get the whole thing. I have 2 beautiful children, and guess what? They ended up being in the farming industry as
Okay.
well.
Hey,
I don't know what happened with that.
well, you know, sometimes they say the apple don't fall from the tree.
That-
Sometimes the apple fall and roll down the hill like me. Sometimes the apple don't fall far from the tree. So,
Well, one apple did roll down the hill, but it came back.
And
so tell us a little bit about the organization, and then we'll dive into the specifics.
Our organization is Mississippi Urban Forest Council, and we're a nonprofit, and we're mandated by the Farm Bill in order for the state to receive funding, federal funding for urban forestry. But unfortunately, or fortunately maybe, our organization is not funded as a mandate. So we do programs to help communities all over the state, and we do some fundraising. And I want to mention one fundraiser that we have going on right now that it's just exciting. So exciting. It's the 7th year in a row that we've done this. But so we work with mostly communities. I can give you a few examples. We landscaped one of the for oldest schools in Macomb, Mississippi, just recently. We did a green infrastructure plan for the city of Chula. We also did a landscape project in Mount Bayou. Arboretums, like I mentioned before, we did 16 of them around the state during COVID.
Let folks know what an arboretum is.
Arboretum is basically a park filled with trees. So one of the programs that we offer is certification of arboretums. And arboretums are important for communities because they increase the canopy of the community. They increase the quality of life. They provide places for recreation and for children to get out and learn about nature. So they're a very important element, little piece of the puzzle in community development.
And you did 16 of these across the state.
We did during COVID.
Wow.
That's what I'm really proud of, because I'm thinking, wait a minute, we're not supposed to be working this hard.
Well, you know, creating spaces outdoors, COVID required us, if you wanted to keep your
That's
sanity during COVID,
That's true.
and everybody was stuck at home, having spaces where you can go outside and see some
Exercise,
sunlight
enjoy
and enjoy some nature. You did something that was important.
It was important. And, you know, it's interesting, even since COVID is somewhat over, well, not completely over, but somewhat over, that is still important.
That's right.
And it's actually become more important. And we're going to talk about that a little bit, if you don't mind. But yes, and places to exercise and places to enjoy nature and wildlife habitat. But really, it's about bonding with your family. And the other important benefit of it is property value protection.
That's right. It is.
It truly is. And I think Jackson especially is going to see a lot of that in the future, because Jackson just got a huge chunk of money for urban forestry.
Well, you know, after beating the drum all these years, somebody hears it.
Yeah.
So talk about the rest of the scope of the organization's abilities.
We have several programs. The Arboretum program is one of them. We do a pollinator. I'm sure you've been from the farm background know the value of pollinators. Pollinators are important in Mississippi to help pollinate our food and increase our food supply. So if you've got a lot of pollinators on a farm, your food production is going to be higher.
Right.
So in other countries, we're having a big challenge with this. So it's somewhat of a new program. I mean, 15 years ago, we didn't really hear a lot about pollinators, but now it's on the forefront because we've got to be responsible that way.
We're not going to save this planet, and this planet is not going to grow in the future if we don't maintain our bee population,
Oh, yes.
and if we don't maintain the health of it, these corporations, and I'm, sometimes I feel a little cynical, but I believe it's us against the corporations. And these corporations try to get us hooked on some more corporate style things, but the natural ways that the earth has been regenerating itself for billions of years. I think I read something one time that the earth is 16 billion years old. So it's been doing its thing for a long time. It's just probably the last 200 years that we have started to mass produce and mass erode the capacity of the whole planet. And I see organizations like yours as pushing us back to, or trying to illuminate the need for us to be healthier, grow healthier, and do things in a more sustainable way.
Well, that is so true. And really, it's on an individual basis as well. A lot of people think one person cannot make a difference, but one person can make a difference.
Especially in this place.
Especially. So decreasing everybody's footprint or the negative impacts that we have on the planet by doing some of these practices helps everybody. That's and one person does count. So a lot of our programs are educational based so that people can learn different ways that they can get involved as an individual.
Okay, so move on with some of the next programs that y'all.
Well, one that's pretty exciting that is my favorite one at this point. We had a program called Bloom Town where we helped cities put in flowers and blooming trees and things to make their towns more beautiful and all the benefits that go with that, but also create ag tourism and festival opportunities and increase the income, the sales tax revenue in these communities. And Bloom Town just, pardon the pun, bloomed. And we ended up with 169 cities in that program. Wow. And as a result of that, I realized that people are really interested in flowers. And my background is horticulture and forestry from that school, that one. And
this is cool.
It was a good school.
Right,
it's still a good school.
Right.
It's an ag-based school, but it's a good school. So being a flower shop owner and horticulturist, what a lot of people don't understand as far as growing crops in Mississippi, our Bloom Town Flower program ended up into a farming program. And the whole basis of it is to get more people into farming, especially women. Now, we're not just picking on women, and are invited to grow flowers as well. But the whole concept was to get more women involved in farming because at some point there's predicted a food crisis.
It's already here.
And we see the prices going up substantially.
That's right.
Daily. And we know that freight's going up daily. So if we can get more people to learn to grow food, then that's better. But one of the crops that I specialize in is cut flowers. And I don't know how many last time you gentlemen bought your wives flowers.
They're expensive.
They're expensive. They work. They work though. I would encourage you to go buy flowers or either grow them.
Okay.
But 86% of our cut flowers in America are imported from other countries.
Wow.
Not other states, other countries.
Wow.
We can grow 90% of that in the US. So we're giving our jobs away by, strictly buying the majority of our cut flowers from other countries. So my job is to help people set up flower farms and teach them what to grow. For example, many of these flowers here in this bouquet, we can grow here in Mississippi. And the neat thing about growing flowers in Mississippi, if you think about one of the number one questions I get is, who are we going to sell them to?
Each other.
Think about it. I mean, who all buys cut flowers?
All
the florists, every restaurant, all the florists, funerals, weddings, home,
corporations,
Mother's Day, corporations, massages. So, excuse me, our markets are already there. All we have to do is put our product in those markets, and it's so easy to do that.
No, I got a couple of comments. I want to comment right there. We talk about markets. Let's Google this real quick. The top 3 states in flower production. It's California, Florida, Michigan, and New Jersey, where they grow around $3.4 billion.
That's right.
So you're not talking about just, I'm going to make sure we talk about some numbers here.
Mhm.
So people who are, we talk about a lot of things here, but this is a whole other economy that I know personally. If I heard this through JPS or something like that, I probably never went through there. I probably went over here and dive into the economy and whatnot. Though, in just this past year in Mississippi, you did $65 million in retail sales in this flower production economy. So,
Well, it's the most profitable crop that we can grow in
It is.
Mississippi. It truly is. USDA survey showed, and the last survey I think was done 6 or so years ago, that you can make 40 to 50,000 profit off of 1 acre of land. And now, if you're a florist and you learn how to arrange those flowers, you can increase that profitability by 30 to 40%.
So you can, in your backyard,
acre and a half.
in your backyard, okay, and Jason, your backyard, you can go back and grow flowers.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because a lot of the confusion is, okay, where can we do that?
Right.
Well, the average flower farm size is less than 5 acres. So, and so that makes this crop very attractive to people with limited resources like myself. I don't have a lot of land. I don't have a lot of equipment, all those sort of things. So it's a crop that we can grow with limited resources. We don't have to have a lot of land. We don't have to have heavy equipment. So yes, you can grow it in your backyard. And there's a lot of flowers. We can grow 100. In our classes, we teach how to grow 150 different kinds of cut flowers. Cut flowers is different than nursery flowers.
Right.
This is not the nursery business. Nursery business in Mississippi is pretty well established, but this is row cropping cut flowers. Mississippi is not on the map yet, but we're getting on there quick.
Because of profitability.
Yes, and we have over 16,000 people in the program.
Wow. So I remember, let's back up and talk about the beginning of the program, because I remember, let's talk about the organization when you began. What year did you begin? And let's start there, and we'll talk about how you got to 16,000.
Oh man, you're not gonna make me tell my age, right? Okay.
Not tell you age, just the program.
I've been running the Urban Forest Council for 27 years. This program I started about 5 years ago.
Right. So that's what I remember.
Yeah.
Is the beginning of this. So you went from basically an email list.
With an idea
about the industry you were passionate about that was profitable. And you've converted that in 5 years from your passion and your little puddle of passionate believers. And you do have some passionate believers.
Yeah, we have farms popping up everywhere.
Right. Now you're at 16,000 across the state.
Across the entire U.S. We have people from all over the country participating in the program. Most of them are in Mississippi. Hallelujah.
I'm glad to hear about that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that the opportunity is you haven't even scratched the surface of the opportunity yet. So those of you who may listen, it's 16,000 people, I may not be able to participate. No.
Oh no, our market is so big for
right.
cut flowers. There's room for many farmers.
That's right. Many more. So don't think, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, that this opportunity has passed you by. You are just at the beginning.
Yes.
It's still an emerging market. The majority of those farmers and business owners are at the hobbyist level. And if they evolve that, if you evolve it, you can really get into some real business, because flowers power.
It really is. And one of the other things, going back to about where you could grow these in your yard and sell them and retail them. And we help, and some of our classes teach people how to sell those flowers, who to sell them to, how to harvest them, how to condition them, and all of that. So you can do it on an acre of land, you can do it on 50 acres of land, or you can do it on a quarter of an acre in your backyard or less.
And that's not a bad part-time income.
Not at all.
And you can do it anywhere in Mississippi.
And it can be a part-time supplementing your income, but
That's right.
It also can be very much full-time.
Oh, very much full-time. But for those folks who are looking for a unique way, a profitable way to supplement your income. And this is what we talk about here on Ride Mississippi. We talk about education, economics, and execution. You're gonna learn something, you're gonna make some money, you're gonna do something. And that's what I believe Mississippi needs. We have to get off our own.
Well, we have such a long growing season in
That's
Mississippi.
Yes, it's true.
We have an opportunity to be the front runner in the flower farming business because our state conservationist had real vision because he understood it and he embraced it and he understood the opportunity that was there. So he really got behind it, which I know of no other state in the U.S. doing these programs. One of the things that we do, we provide training over Zoom because of COVID. We had to go through the Zoom method. So we have 2 classes a month over Zoom, and we cover everything from site selection, soil prep, what to plant, harvest, marketing, the whole 9 yards. The other thing we do, we have 2 demonstration farms. One is outside Florida and one is in the city of Madison in a backyard.
Yep.
My backyard.
I've been there. And she has a beautiful backyard.
I got you. Wait, I got one more question then, because I've been learning about farming for the last year or so. Now, what type of, how can I use it? Like, not ingredients, but
What type of environment?
Type of environment. That's the best question. You know,
It's
as far as to plant
suitable.
those, it's suitable to plant those fresh cut flowers right there.
Well, these are flowers that are not grown in high tunnels. Now, I have a couple of high tunnels where I grow like specialty flowers like Asiatic lilies, amaryllis, and Dutch iris, things like that. But these are grown in the field. They're row crop, just like you would corn or butter beans or peas or whatever.
I just want to make sure that everybody hears things.
And actually, that's the easiest way to grow cut flowers and the most profitable. Because just think about all you're really doing is plowing and planting seeds. Seeds are very cheap compared to bulbs or plants, that sort of thing. So we teach all the different methods, whether you're growing in a container or if you're growing in the field or in a high tunnel or any of those things. So there's like a dozen different methods. And the other good thing about this, all of these serve as pollinators.
That's right.
So even though you're not going out and doing a wildflower field, which we do those on our farm. We do wildflower fields, which are just drop dead gorgeous. But these also serve as pollinators.
Now, to all the farmers who are listening, if you are a whatever type of farmer you are, whatever you're growing, wherever you are growing, this is a very good way to give someone else on your farm something that they can be passionate about. They can help the pollination of your own products and produce a profit. So if you have a daughter or son that's not necessarily want to be a soybean, a corn, grow corn or grow the traditional things that you grow. You want them to be profitable and you want them to stay in the industry. We have to broaden the offerings of the industry to things like this because it can add value to your farm. You put 4 acres or a row, we put 4 acres. Let's say you got 10 or 20 acres of corn out there. You put 4 acres, or you put, whatever you're growing out there, you put 3 or 4 acres on the other side over here, and you start growing fresh cut flowers. You're gonna see the yield on your farm that's going to increase, and you're gonna see hopefully someone else participating in the industry who may not move to Dallas or Atlanta. They may be a son or daughter or a sister, whoever, that can stay here in the same community they grew up in, participate in the agriculture industry, and have a profit right from home.
That's right. And the thing about growing cut flowers, every town, it doesn't matter what size your town is or your community is, everybody has weddings, everybody has funerals, Mother's Day, and you can just name all of the events and reasons that people buy cut flowers. So what it's really doing is creating jobs all over the state.
That's right.
I ran into one of our elected officials not long ago, and I told him, I said, I've created more jobs than you are. And he looked at me like, what? Well, think about it. Think about it. So if you put a flower farm in a town, not only do you have the farmer, if that farmer learns how to do weddings and corsages and stuff like that, you've got a florist. And so the new term for that is taking the same route as farm to table, but it's called farm to vase.
Okay, farm to vase.
And you've got the florist farmer or the farmer florist. So the farmer becomes a florist. And then you've got all those jobs throughout the state. And we have started seeing flower farms pop up everywhere. And I have to tell you one thing funny. I spoke to a group of about 200 or 300 women. It was in Alcorn. And there was one man in the audience, one man that was brave enough to come here to the program, right? So after the program, he came up and he goes, guess what I'm growing next year? I said, what? Flowers. Because some of the farmers, I even have talked to some of the vegetable farmers. My son is an organic produce farmer, the garden pharmacy. I'm sorry, I went blank. Taylor Yowell, and he grows fruit and vegetables organically. Well, one of the things that cut flowers do is complement the vegetables and help sell the vegetables because the flowers are selling. And and people go, well, I don't want to plant anything I can't eat, but you want to plant something you can pay your electric bill with.
That's right.
Or buy new clothes with, or
And certain flowers, they have medicinal abilities.
Oh yes.
So it can span the spectrum.
You touched on the mental part earlier, but I think I don't know, we need to put a stop sign there because that brings so much life and joy just seeing and I'm not just saying to be saying it, but when you have our alarming rate of depression going on in the community, these type of things, you really don't know how therapeutic this lifestyle really is. Just because it really about just to actually heal yourself. So I'm looking at it right now because I'm like, well, I know a whole bunch of senior citizens who got green thumbs, and they just don't probably even. This is probably simple for them to do because they're not afraid of playing with the dirt.
What you're talking about is so true. It is an emotional thing. It's a way to communicate with people. It's a way to show that you care. And there's a term for it, horticulture therapy.
Oh, see,
and
I didn't even know that.
That's new for our state. There are no horticulture therapists in Mississippi. I'm the only trained horticulture therapist in the state, and I trained in a facility out of Atlanta.
Okay.
But it is definitely therapy. And not just the physical part of it, but also the mental and the emotional part of it. So there's.
Just saw that when you brought in, I saw a smile when I just saw it. I like the smile in general, but when I saw it, it was like, man, it made me feel pretty good.
And look what this one is. And who would think that we would sell this? Anybody want to guess what that one is?
I know it is. Guess what it is, Jackson?
I don't like this. I don't know, brother.
You do, man. You know what it is.
It grows on the roadside.
It grows on the side of the road.
They ain't lying. Right.
Go to
Right.
Go to
I told you knew what it was. On the side of the road. Right.
And alstroemerias and gerbers and snapdragons. These are all things that we can grow here in Mississippi. And one of the things that when I had my flower shop on Old Canton Road, I was importing flowers from Bogota, Colombia.
Okay. I
would take Queen Anne slates or goldenrod out of these cases that have been shipped for hours and hours and hours. And I was thinking, why are we doing this? Why are we not growing this in Mississippi?
Well, we are agriculture state. I'm not. Now, Mississippi, we got to get on the ball there. I will tell you this too. My logistics background. So he used to ship a lot of flowers through the post office. A lot. I'm talking about, especially in certain season, on Mother's Day. That's the number one holiday in the United States, Mother's Day. A lot of flowers get shipped. So I'm just saying, we missing out on a whole lot.
One thing that we say a lot here is that Mississippi has a lot of poverty, but I believe it's because the majority of Mississippians are disconnected from the largest industry in the state, which is agriculture. And everyone thinks agriculture is combines and cows.
And cotton and soybean.
But it's so vast. There is literally something for everything. At every work level, at every skill set. I'm even a proponent that farming is great for children with autism and people who've grown up with autism. It's just those tasks are redundant sometimes, and that person can get involved in it and do it over and over again and be successful. I believe that farming, the reason the world's in such a bad place is because farmers are the best people on the planet.
They're the best conservationists as well.
Right. And we don't have enough farmers, which shows that we have people that we have better people in the farming industry. And outside the industry, we have people who aren't as good. I think we want better people. We need more farmers.
That's right. And I think the challenge for most people, or at least what I've seen, is that people think they can't do it. It's too hard. So what we try to do is simplify it and start them out with the basics and make it doable for people, like really doable. And my son does the same thing on vegetables and fruit. He trains young men on the farm by actually working on the farm. They get their training and then they go off to set up their own farms. So we try to do that with the demonstration farms that we have as well as the classes.
I'm gonna put one little request in here, probably later on in the future. But one of the great programs I see in the state in public school is always the JRTC programs, and they're excellent. I mean, nothing compared to it. But I'm pretty sure we can talk to a couple of those guys. It would be good to see a high school program. I don't know if you guys are working on it already.
I'd love to.
But yeah, great for it. And just have a couple of models just to see what it does.
With the flowers.
But also, it will increase a big pipeline of people who actually want to go into the higher level institutions and want to become farmers or into this such whatnot. That's what I'm thinking in my head, because I think somebody showed me the numbers and all these other good things from and make it a mandatory curriculum.
We're actually working on a co-op method, so that say you're growing Dutch hours in your backyard, for example, and you want a way to market those jointly with other people, so all the farmers can get together and have the flowers. But one of the other aspects of this is agriculture tourism, which is a huge opportunity for Mississippi.
That is huge. Agriculture. Now I know a little bit about that type of business. On a global level, I know about other countries that do it. Okay, and I know Mississippi to me is like a country within a country. If we can get that together, you're talking about major international people coming here more aggressively, because I mean, it just shows them what you can do, what you got with the soil. You know.
And when you have a flower farm, it's visually so beautiful. It just fits in with the ag tourism thing so well. And because of COVID, a couple of things that we've seen is that shipping costs are skyrocketing. So the florists have always been, and I'm a florist, so I can say they're spoiled, that we could order a certain color peony, so to speak, at a certain time of the year and get whatever we wanted for the bride, or any color or any flower. That's not possible any longer.
Wow.
Because of the diversity in plant material is not there. Shipping costs are a problem. So shipping these flowers in, we're increasing our footprint substantially. By buying locally grown flowers, we're decreasing that negative impact.
I got you.
So there's a lot of reasons that the timing for this is significant. But you're right, the opportunity is huge. One of the flowers that we teach to grow, y'all want to guess what one stem of Asiatic lily retails for?
One stem?
Do you know what an Asiatic lily is?
One stem is going to run about what, $11?
They wholesale their 25, retail their 50 per stem.
What?
Yes.
Hold on. Say that again. I
wholesale their 25.
My cost is behind time. I guess that's a pre-COVID cost.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That is a pre-COVID.
Right.
Wow. You're very right. You're very right.
Wow.
So it's it's kind of figuring out the right way to
I'm looking. So another thing I'm looking at.
But before you leave to that moment, let's take that analogy. And I like giving practical analogies that aren't like pie in the sky. Okay, let's say that you just want to do some Asiatic lilies, since you gave an example. Just enough the size of this room. Let's say the footprint of Asiatic lilies in somebody's backyard is the size of this room. How much production could you do in something the size of this room?
I think you could easily, use that figure that USDA threw out, and it was an old figure, so it's actually much higher than this,
Okay.
50,000 per acre. So you could break it down from there,
Gotcha.
but with the Asiatic lilies, you could actually get higher than that.
Well, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
So for a small footprint, what would it cost to plant something the size of this room?
Well, Asiatic lilies, you're putting about a bulb, and the
right.
bulbs can run anywhere from $5 to $15 each. So
Mhm.
you got a higher investment. But the interesting thing about that, if you do buy seed,
Mhm.
you can kind of get the same amount of profit, but less cost in it,
Mhm.
and less labor in it.
Mhm.
So it's important to understand what your investment is and your outcome is going to be, and how to decrease your labor.
That's right.
Because that's still one of the number one challenges in farming is the labor side of it.
That's right.
So if you can grow a crop, I had a little competition with my son out at the Livingston Farmers Market.
Mhm.
He was growing vegetables and I was growing cut flowers. I said, I tell you what, whoever makes most money has to buy dinner.
Oh.
I'm looking at them online right now.
But we put flowers with those food farmers,
That's
and
right.
it's such a wonderful combination. And matter of fact, we have a program going on right now.
Sure.
I think you participated in it. Can I see that on camera?
Yeah, you can just turn around.
Oh, here, I'll let you do it.
All right.
Okay, these are narcissus. It's one of the easiest bulbs to grow in Mississippi. It's very forgiving. You can plant it any time of the year and pretty much anywhere. Most cut flowers like full sun. These will take pretty much either full sun or part sun.
Okay.
But they're bulbs, and we're giving these away for the next month. So if you want to grow these, now these sell as cut flowers at Kroger. Last year they were selling like $15 for 6, a stem of 6. So think about that.
That's right.
So, I mean, that's high profit.
Well, in my mind, I think all money. So
So that's really high profit. So anyway, if you want to learn how to grow bulbs, now's the time to get them.
Yeah.
This is the 7th year in a row, and I brought you some, by the way.
Okay.
So you can come get the way to contact us. Well, you'll ask me that later.
It's
Right?
on the screen.
Oh, it is?
Okay.
Okay. Awesome.
But
You
for
guys
those
are on
listening
top of
already,
it.
give them your phone number.
Phone number 601-672-0755.
601-672-0755, or you can go to www.msurbanfarms.com.
I always be saying this, Stamps. Mississippi got so many things going there that's good, that's great,
That's right.
that many Mississippi don't know nothing about.
Check this out.
I'm so
We've
serious.
been here 10 years, 52 shows a year, times 10.
Come on now.
And we still haven't run out.
No.
Of the subject? Yeah.
No, we haven't.
That's 520 shows.
Major
And
kind.
we still have not run out of good stuff and good opportunities to talk about how to make money. If you've been listening to us for 10 years and you still broke, it's your fault. We have given you every opportunity to make some daggone money.
Making a sacrifice for you to get it.
And DeKeither, our classes, because we partner with NRCS, are free.
There you go.
And when we started out the program, that was not the case.
Gotcha.
So they are now, and at some point we may have to change that. But so it's open to everybody.
Well, it's open to everybody, but more importantly, you got good, trustworthy people that's wielding the opportunity. That's why we had a long-standing relationship. Now we met several years ago, but over the years, it's great to see people, because you came here when you first started, and then now 5 years later. Well, actually, you came in about 6, 7 years ago. Before you started that wasn't the first time you came. You had come before when I was on the city council.
Yeah, I can't remember.
We were talking about urban canopy. We were talking about the canopy in Jackson when you first came. Then the next time you came was about this. And but more importantly, you got good people, passionate people who are willing to teach other people how to do the program. You've done it so well that Now the government comes in and says, you know what, there's value here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's pay her to teach for free. Now, with the goodness gracious, ladies and gentlemen, if you can go in your backyard, let's take that lily example for a minute. How you said that just one stem can sell for $22. A bouquet with 4 can sell for $50. What does it take to grow that one stem?
There we go.
What's the cost of that?
Well, the bulb is going to cost you.
Or even you go from the seed. Where you go?
Well, that's the reason you need to take the classes.
Okay, I don't want to cut you, but just from the bulb.
You can't do.
We try to get a little bit,
Yeah, it's by seed. You got to do those by bulb.
Okay, just by the bulb.
By the bulb. Say you spend $10 on the bulb.
Okay.
And it's going to produce one full stem, and it'll have anywhere from 3 to 8 blooms per stem.
Mm-hmm.
And you planted it out in the field. You can plant these in the field.
That's right.
You don't have to have a greenhouse or a high tunnel or any of these things. I do mine in a high tunnel so that the deer, because you do want deer fencing. So you've got an investment. They grow super fast, super easy, and they come back every year and they multiply. So you got an investment. By the time you plant it, nurture it, all that, I don't know, maybe $10, $15 per bulb, per plant. You're going to turn around and retail it for $50. You're going to wholesale it for less. But, wholesale, the way the florist industry works, there's the grower and the wholesaler buys from the grower. And the wholesaler then sells it to the retailer. And the retailer sells it to the end.
That's right.
Person. So if you want to go from the grower to the end user in the cut flower business, you can do that now.
Yes.
And especially if you're the farmer.
Especially if you got a Facebook page. And
Exactly.
you sell to your friends.
Exactly. So, but if you're looking at a seed, you might invest a penny in a seed.
Right.
And you're coming up with.
See, now you think like my brain. See, my brain goes automatically to farmer. Right? But my point to make is, instead of scratching around trying to like join some company and sell their products to your friends and family, this is a very low cost way for you to go in your backyard or go in your grandmama's backyard where she used to have a garden and reinvigorate the garden she used to have. It's already there. Your grandfather had a tiller in the backyard. You dust that thing off and oil it up and get it going. And you can literally take your economy to fight back against corporations and fight back against inflation and take the money you make to help offset your gas prices.
That's right. And you're your own boss.
That's it.
And which is just, phenomenal for a
You're
lot of people to.
You're talking about increase your quality of life now. You're talking about truly increasing your quality of life.
Yourself.
I mean,
without trying to go apply for some other government program, because once we get you to be a farmer, you will never think about welfare again. Because once you can feed yourself, you ain't going to trying to find no government cheese. You can go and feed your own self.
That's right. And once you start learning how to grow flowers, you can grow vegetables as well.
There you go.
There is one tree subject I'd like to mention. Okay, so the drought has caused us a problem. We have lost a lot of trees. A lot of trees are going to be dying or have already died. Yeah. And it also made the trees susceptible to pine beetle and other diseases as well. So just get ready, because all the cities, all the utility companies, all of the counties, everybody's trying to figure out how they're going to manage these trees. So if you have any influence politically, one of the things that we really should be looking at is asking for us to declare the drought a national emergency.
Oh, we're already trying.
So that people, because I was in a subdivision today looking at trees. This one poor homeowner had 6 giant pine trees hanging over their house that were already dead.
That's right.
And I'm thinking that's going to cost, these were giant pine trees. And I'm thinking that's going to cost those people I don't know, just guessing $10,000 to $15,000 just to remove those trees, maybe more.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more than that.
So if we can get the state to create this opportunity to help business owners and homeowners manage these trees.
Let me give a little science. Well, first of all, let me let you wrap up.
Okay.
And then I'm going to add on there. So just kind of encapsulate what we've talked about, let folks know how they can participate, and then we got about 10 minutes left to go.
Okay. Well, if you want to do conservation, please contact us because we've got a lot of different conservation programs that you can get involved in. If you want to bring it to your town, we do virtual makeovers, we do all kind of tree programs. But if you want to make money, learn how to grow flowers.
Mm-hmm. Give me your number one more time.
601-672-0755.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ms. Donna Yowell. Our telephone number again is 601-672-0755. Or you can go to www.msurbanforest.com. That's MSURBANFOREST.com. And our email address is BYOWELL@AOL.com.
Thank you, DeKeither. I look forward to working with everybody.
Oh, you always do. This whole time, we're not going to go nowhere, but I got to shift the conversation just for a minute because we got a few minutes left on the show. The comment she made earlier was a good segue right into my last topic is about the situation the drought has caused and with us getting ready to step into the Public Service Commission role. And we started to assess the things that are hurting us. One of the things that hurts us is, trees in the right of way and all that. Well, when you have a drought like we had, which causes the sap in the pine trees to go one way, then it gets cold, and then trees in turn are brittle, beetles get into them, and now we're on the cusp of trees falling down and breaking lines. This is why we were beating the drum so hard early this year to shift the utility focus. About a month into the drought, we were thinking like farmers. Well, what I was doing on my farm was mitigating the risk of what we saw was going to happen in January for what we saw was happening in June, because that's how farmers think. We don't think today, tomorrow. We think, seed time harvest, which is a 6-8 month cycle. We think what's happening in nature now, how is it going to affect us in the timeline? So we started doing our normal mitigation practices. We started making sure that we, take care of things. So when those trees fall, they fall safer, or they're already cut down, and we can manage it that way. Well, that didn't happen across the state. And now we're in preparation mode for what I consider a national emergency. So we've already started those conversations because the reason I say this is because you're going to have trees falling down everywhere. In about a month, you're going to have trees falling. So what happens when trees fall down, ladies and gentlemen? Well, they fall on power lines. We must move now. That's why we're moving on this. We're not even sworn in yet. We have to get back into the resiliency business, and we're behind the curve because it takes a long time to cut down stuff. It's better to do it in the summertime, like we do on our farm. We do the stuff that we don't want to do when it's cold and raining. We do it in the summer when it's hot and dry, because I work better when it's hot and dry than I do when it's cold and freezing and raining and I'm out here, But if we can get our state to function like farmers, that's how we can be better as a state. Now, I wish I was in charge last year so that we would have been making these changes when the weather changed and the drought happened. Then we would have been making these changes, but we weren't in place. And that's why you're going to see us, or you'll hear it publicly in about a week or two. But we've been having those conversations. But I'm saying this now, it's time for you to protect your investment. Your property needs to be maintained, and you need to get out there right now and figure out, while it's dry this week, it's perfect time to cut down some trees this week. And it looks chilly, but everybody knows what happens in January in Mississippi. That first 2 weeks of January is going to be cold. It's going to be ice. And when that rain and that ice get on those pine trees, which already have no sap. They're gonna fall down. So I would rather you start thinking about things now. Call your insurance company, call your supervisor, and start trying to take care of your property now. Take it into your own hands, but don't wait until disaster strikes, which I'm telling you will happen. And I pray it don't happen to you. But I'm a realist. It will happen to somebody. It will. I'm just telling you, there is danger over the horizon, especially if you live in urban area or rural area.
Yeah.
It's going to hit you the same. So if you need to take some things under consideration now, please govern yourself accordingly. Because if you got a pine tree that's close to your house, I would rather you talk about it now than talk about it. Well, Mr. Stan's tree fell on my garage, fell on my bedroom while I was asleep.
Yeah.
Start taking a look at the situation now so that you can deal with it when it's not raining, not wet, and you don't have no thinking tree laying on the side of your house.
Yeah, look up. A lot of people don't look up. Look up. Because if it's dead, it's coming down.
Right. So if your pine trees are brown right now, then you got a problem.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be brown. So pay attention to it. It could already be dead outside, and you think it's just brown because things change. No.
And you can't treat that tree for pond beetles because the pond beetles have already moved to the next tree.
That's right.
So that tree, if it's brown, is coming down.
Right.
So
that's right.
Everybody just get ready, put your hats on.
I want to say something to that. Is that I was thinking about the major corridors.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of trees. I'm thinking about one corridor right now, Northside Drive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that trees are all coming over, and that whole neighborhood of Hanger Moss and Walkins. I mean, what you're saying is like really, it's nothing but pine trees. That's what I'm really alluding to. And those people definitely need to be trying to be proactive right now if they can be.
That's right. Go ahead and and those who may have gotten out of the tree business.
Oh yeah.
Go get your trucks ready, get your chainsaws sharpened up, get your work crews good, because there will be a real opportunity for people in the tree business in the next 6 months.
That's so true.
If you want to get into the tree business, or if you got out of the tree business, and it's not for everybody.
No, it's not.
I mean, hard work is hard work.
Yeah.
All right. So us hard workers, we never lose money. That's why I don't fear recession. I don't fear nothing because I got a whole bunch of skills. But for anybody who wants to get into the tree business, it is time for you to get geared back up, because the next 6 months to a year, there will be a lot of money put, not just from the citizens, but from the government, into fixing a problem that I'm telling you is about to happen. I hope it don't happen negatively on anybody. I don't want nothing bad to happen. I'm not trying to speak nothing bad, but I can only sit here and tell you the truth of what my experience and those people who are experts in this industry are telling me, which confirm what we've been saying, and that is govern yourself accordingly, because there's a storm coming. Jason, pardon me.
This is I want to say it's Christmas. Christmas not Saturday or Sunday.
It's Monday.
It's Monday. Oh well, everybody happy holidays, man. That's all I want to say. Go ahead, Chief.
Donna,
I enjoyed it. It was good to see all of you again, and I wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Well, I want to say, ladies and gentlemen, I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you have a Merry Christmas. I know everybody doesn't celebrate Christmas like I do. I just buy a birthday cake and we sing Happy Birthday, Jesus. For me, Christmas by Jesus. But I want you to make a point. I know y'all got Christmas trees and Santa Clauses and reindeer and all of that. And I'm not saying don't do that. But I am saying, make a little time for Jesus in your conversation. Make a little time for Jesus across the table. Make a little time for Jesus. You know, if you don't do it, you know, before you eat like normal, regular, common sense people, you know, when it's time for dessert, just hold hands and say happy birthday, Jesus. Yeah. I don't want y'all to get to the pearly gates, you know, and you asking for grace and mercy. I at least want you to be able to say, Jesus, I at least celebrated your birthday one time in 2023 and then make your birthday about me and getting. Make Christmas about Jesus and giving. If you can do that one thing for me, I'm going to love you anyway. I'm going to love you a little bit more. If you just, on Monday, make a little bit of Monday, not the whole Monday, just a little bit of Monday about Jesus and about helping somebody. If y'all can do that for me, I greatly appreciate it. Our underwritten for today's show, Mr. Micheal Jordan Transportation Service. You can go to www.mjstransportation1.com for your transportation needs, or you can go get you some good food. It's not fast food now. It is not fast food. So you got to call early. Y'all want to know? Call early. Go to Stamp SuperBurger and get you one of those big old SuperBurgers, and get you one of them garden burgers like Jason. Like he likes sweet potato fries. I like lemon pepper fries. But no matter what you get, go get some good food. Fast food been killing folks for a long number of years. You know, I ain't saying you eat the whole thing in one sit. But you know, I can eat the whole day off. I just give me a little piece now, a little piece later on. You know, heck, if you take half of it home, you can probably use all that hamburger to make you some spaghetti when you get home. I don't know, but go on over to SuperBurger and get you some good food. And as we end every show, I just want to say I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Our swearing-in ceremony is January the 4th at 4 p.m. at the Capitol in the old Supreme Court building in the Capitol on the Senate side, January 4th at 4 p.m. I appreciate everybody for their attendance and participation. And we're going to officially hit the ground running, and we're going to start chopping some trees down to keep your property safe. Don't worry, we plant trees too. So we'll be just fine with our canopy. And we're going to encourage y'all to plant some flowers. Help yourselves on everything we talked about today. But remember, never let anybody put you in a position where you don't love your own people. Because when you hate your own folks, no matter you're black, white, Democrat, Republican, don't hate your own folks. Because when you hate your own folks, you're part of the very oppression we're trying to lift ourselves out of. I love you, Jackson. I love you, Mississippi. It's up against the corporations, everybody. So fight back right. Love y'all. Handy, get us out of here.
Be safe.
Bye.